All right, guys, welcome to the Media Hijack podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters, and joining me is Chris, Unholy Jesus.
What's up? What is up, universe? What is up?
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Man, this week, it actually went by pretty slow.
Nature, I was literally just thinking the same thing before you said that. I'm like, it feels like it's been longer since we did the last episode, and I don't know why.
I like it.
Yeah, because I don't know, because it's like maybe we just did like a lot of shit in that time frame between last Tuesday and this Tuesday.
Yeah,
I was pretty busy.
I was pretty busy.
Damn, yeah,
kind of.
It is actually today was like more of a down day for me. This is like before I showed up, I just didn't do shit all day. Just did some research for tonight's episode a little bit. Got some little small news and stuff I was going to pick out too, and then took a long ass nap.
Cool beans.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. So welcome back. If you guys want to watch us on Twitch, you guys can follow us on twitch.tv/MediaHijack. Also, if you guys want to watch the YouTube replay, I got the link down for you guys. And, of course, if you guys want to buy some T-shirts, head to the MediaHijack.com, grab you a shirt.
Hell yeah, please.
Support us.
Hell yeah.
Wear it on the street and tell everybody on the street to listen to the show.
Hell yeah. And there's somebody who listened to the show who said he was going to buy a shirt last week. I'm waiting for it, so I ain't forgot.
Can't threaten these people.
No, well, no. I'm strong arming this one person because
these people.
They said they was going to get a shirt.
But they better buy a shirt. I'm just playing.
They said they was going to buy a shirt. I haven't got word from you yet that that shirt has been bought. So I'm calling you out. You know who you are. I guess I ain't got to say no names.
God.
Putting the pressure on you.
Should I buy another one?
Putting the pressure on them.
All right, guys. So today's main topic, we're going to be talking about Aleister Crowley.
Hell yeah.
And Chris, he got a topic also that he's going to do.
Yeah, it kind of follows up after Aleister Crowley. I'm going to be talking about the Satanic Panic.
Damn.
When suburban America, a.k.a. white America of like the 80s and then the early 90s, lost their fucking mind because there were rumors that everybody was thinking that child daycare centers were actually satanic cults and they were killing babies and stuff. It was this fear that spread and people lost their damn minds over it. It was.
See, if that was a thing back then and the people didn't have internet and that was a thing back then, that might have been real. Because that's like all word on the street type shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it kind of started from this one book, though. I'm going to get into that, like how this book became so popular, it got into people's brains, and that's when, and you want to find out too, some of these people were lying about these cases and like getting kids to admit or change their stories, like, yeah, they took me down to this basement,
and they raped me.
And yes, it goes through all this shit. But it was Satanic Panic. It happened after the crazy ass 70s, after the 80s and 90s. Some motherfuckers were lying. Some may have been telling the truth. We don't know.
That's scary, man. That's why I'd say just don't have kids. One less thing to worry about.
Just stop it all together. Don't have any.
One less thing to worry about.
Don't have any children. Oh yeah.
Ready?
Let's go.
All right, so Aleister Crowley. Like, who the hell is this guy? All right, so he is known as the Great Beast 666.
Oh, damn. Sound like a wrestler. Shit.
Yeah, like some believe he was the Antichrist because they said, they spoke about him in the book of Revelations. They're like, yeah, this guy's just a dude that was curious about the magic world. You know? He's just trying to get his wizard on. You know, and other people, they believe like this guy was a genius, a visionary. Because a lot of the shit that he talked about, I think is all being like, you're seeing it influence like within our society right now. And it's crazy how it is, like even with music, like with rap music and shit, how some of those guys that wear dresses and, you know, they do a lot of weird stuff with same sex and stuff, you know, like weird shit.
Rocking purses and shit.
It's wild. But this guy, he wasn't just only like the crazy occult guy. This guy, he was like a painter, a poet. He was a mountaineer. This guy was famous for climbing mountains.
Damn, so he's a man's man. Okay.
Yeah, like he was like in a magazine where they talked about him because he was climbing so cool.
I almost believed you.
He got an award like he got an award like at a solo climb like at the Alps.
For real?
It was real.
I thought you was joking.
It was in the newspaper or whatever back then.
I was like, ESPN? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, he was cool.
Okay, shit. Okay.
Him on the top of the mountain with a little flag. I did it, but then like people had no idea this guy was like so damn supposedly evil.
You stick the flag on top of the mountain. Hell, Satan. So, whoa.
No, he was beyond that, dude.
Damn,
this
it
guy,
gets deeper.
I think he really did do something.
I can't wait.
One fucking man, he did something, dude.
I can't wait.
All right, so he was born in England, October 1865, way before all this shit. What's up, shoddy rich gaming? Let's go.
Good.
He was born into a wealthy family, so they had bread. You know, he could do whatever the fuck he want because he's rich as fuck and shit. And he was born in like a Christian family, so they sent him to a Christian school, right? He said, I don't really like this shit. And he had like a close relationship with his father. And then his father passed away when he was 11 from like tongue cancer. And then, you know, he got all sad and shit. And then when he went to school, he was diagnosed with like a kidney problem, you know? And then his mom was like, oh, we got to pull you out of school. So Aleister, his uncle, right? He called the mom. He's like, hey, do you want me to watch Aleister, you know, while, you know, he gets better and stuff? Mom was like, sure, go ahead. So, like, before he went to the uncle's house, like, you know, he came from a strict Christian family. So everything, like, he didn't really know about. Everything was, like, strict. So when he went to his uncle's place, dude, his uncle didn't give a fuck. He said, do whatever the fuck you want. He was drinking. He was, his uncle even paid for sex workers for him to have sex with him. So he lost, like, his virginity at 14.
Man, I don't know. The name Aleister sounds like such a...
That's actually not his real name.
Oh, he changed it? Oh,
he changed it like later because he wanted to be remembered. And then he was like, what's a name somebody's going to remember?
Sounds mystic.
Aleister.
It sounds all mystic.
If you think about it, do you know anybody in real life named Aleister?
No, hell no.
That's not a common name.
No, that's like some... It's always been from TV if I've heard the name.
Yeah, only a TV character.
And I think all of the people who have like named their characters on TV is based off of this dude. And it all seems like every like cartoons I've seen and shit like that, when his name's Aleister, probably started from this dude. He probably invented the name.
Yeah, so his uncle, he let him do whatever, so he got the taste of like freedom.
Damn.
And he was like banging sex workers at 14, doing all this shit, right?
His uncle is cool, man.
So then like when his uncle was done with him, he sent them back to his mom. And then, you know, when he got there, he was like rebellious now.
Oh, I was like, he was a straight asshole, I bet.
He was a straight, like, you know, like, because, you know, like after I guess somebody have sex, right? They started walking different and shit. They're like, hey, man, something, did you get laid, man? Why are you walking different?
They start bossing up and shit. They start bossing up. They think they better than everybody.
Yeah, they start like bucking at their parents and shit.
The system.
Yeah, but so he came back and then he was all rebellious and his mom called him a beast and shit. It's like, oh, you fucking beast. And he was like, okay. Okay, all right, mom. So he did actually went back to school, and then the reverends at his Christian school were like, hey, we can't control this kid. He's out of control, you know, because he said he don't trust no other religion no more. He's like, man, you guys can't tell me nothing, you know, about religion. So he said, screw it, you know. So another way, like, he wanted to rebel against his mother, he ended up having sex with the maid.
Oh shit!
On the mom's bed.
Man, this dude is wild.
Young kid. Right.
This dude, wow, man! I didn't think he was gonna be like this.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit! Like at that part, it caught my attention. I was like, he had sex with a maid on the mom's bed.
Dirty motherfucker.
I was like, damn, it only take one visit to your uncle's house.
Does it turn you out like this?
Right. I was like, what else did you do at your uncle's house?
I don't know how the uncle is. Is he fucking worse? Is he a worse person?
I don't think so.
Or maybe a hero to some.
I don't know. Maybe he's just a really bad influence.
For sure. I mean,
yeah, it's probably bored. That's why he likes seeing kids do weird shit.
I want to fuck some kid's life up.
That's crazy.
I'm so bored. I want to fuck this kid's life up. Let's do it.
All right. So after like he had sex with the maid, right? The maid, she couldn't get no job nowhere because her reputation was ruined.
Damn.
So the maid, she ended up becoming a sex worker because she was like, I can't get money anywhere else, so I just gotta start giving out my body and shit. Then later, it is rumored that Jack the Ripper, his first victim was the maid.
No shit.
It's just rumor, but I think it might be true.
I'm running with it.
Yeah, because it sounds cool.
Say less. I'm running with this one.
And later in life, Aleister, he claimed that he knew Jack the Ripper. Like, oh, it's like, oh, that guy. Like, yeah, man, we used to chill back at that one place while we were running train.
At the pub.
Choo choo. He's so wild, man. And Aleister, he did like whatever the fuck he want, like because he had so much wealth, so much money that it protected him. So it didn't matter. Like he would fuck with people in public. He would, be aggressive, be mean, and nobody did nothing because he had all that money. He was born into all that money.
Untouchable, man.
Adam Seawell, what's good?
So
Says opinions on Bitcoin. Oh, we can't talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta run this story. All right, so okay, so later he went to college. Surprisingly, right? He went to college. He took chemistry courses. And he started playing chess. And then this is when he got into mountain climbing. And then I told you like he got the award for a solo climb at the Alps and shit. And then when he wasn't doing mountain climbing, you know what he was doing instead? Having sex, because he had like an addiction to like sex and stuff. So, and he had all that money, so he kept on buying sex workers, and then eventually he caught like syphilis, because he was doing it like raw dog. And I mean, I don't think there was a condom back in 1900s, was there?
I think they did. It was like
lambskin,
like sheep intestines, I think it was.
Yeah, sheep.
Some shit, sheep and lamb. I think they're the fucking same, but some intestines and some shit.
Damn.
I'm gonna put that on my one, man.
I would just put wax on it.
Like hot wax.
It's like, we're not going to feel nothing.
Just put on wax on it.
But you won't have babies. All right. So after all that, after mountain climbing, after he caught syphilis, 1896, he was in Stockholm. And this is when he first had his first gay encounter with a man.
Damn.
Because, he's having sex so much, like, I guess he's getting bored of female. So then he started eyeballing this dude, like, in Stockholm and shit. And at this time in 1896, it was illegal to do gay stuff. So they had to really sneak around.
Yeah. It's probably like the thrill of it, because you gotta hide it. It's like, oh, this shit's hot.
It was like a closet within a closet.
Deep.
Yeah, that closet was deep, dude.
Damn.
So the dude he had a relationship with, his name is Herbert Charles.
Herbert.
And he was the president of Cambridge Drama Club.
Okay.
But then rumor is that he is like a drag queen, and he does like all this side shit.
Oh, like his night gig?
Yeah, like his night gig and stuff. And then they got into like an argument. But Aleister, he actually he fell deeply in love with this dude.
Oh, shit.
Like head over heels, like balls deep. Okay. And here's the weird shit about Aleister, right? Like when he was having sex with the man, like he wasn't doing the man. He was playing the passive position.
Oh, so he used to get his cheeks clapped then. So
his cheeks were getting clapped.
Okay.
But then they're saying like later, like he preferred like women over men because like when he would do it with a guy, right, he would feel like less masculine. So he would want to feel like a man again. Then he would ram like a sex worker, female. So that's why he
got syphilis and shit. What would you say he had?
Yeah, syphilis. Ooh. It's gonna catch something else too. But this
guy, does Mo?
Back then, man,
he's got you more than just a double. Shit.
If you believe it, it'll kill you.
Damn it.
Yep. So then he broke up, and then he started crying and shit.
True story.
All right. So okay. So he got really sick, right? Later, then this is when he started getting fascinated with mortality, and then that's when he devoted his life to the occult, right? So he started studying the book of black magic.
Okay.
And then he wrote a lot of poems, and he published a lot of poems like to make money and stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of his poems were like erotic poems, and that shit was banned in so many countries because it was too raunchy.
Okay.
I wonder what it was though. Like the poems he was writing. How nasty it was, because like nowadays they got Japanese manga or hentai,
the tentacles and shit.
Hentai, or,
yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that, but it's his shit probably was raunchy as fuck.
His shit might be way more next level than what we have now, huh?
It's like I'm gonna slap you in the face with my penis and then pour baby blood on top of your head.
Whoa!
It's like, oh wait, let me just cut this out.
Whoa!
Wait, come on, Aleister, you're fucking up. You're too raunchy. That's why nobody wants to be with you.
Jesus Christ!
I don't know.
Can we cut that out?
Beep.
All right, where was I? Okay, he was banned, and then yep. Okay, so pretty much like all he did after like college, he didn't graduate college, by the way, but pretty much all he did, he just had sex with a whole bunch of sex workers.
Damn.
Until later, he traveled to Switzerland. He met a man named Julian Baker. He was a chemist, and his interest was in alchemy, right? So both of them, they traveled back to England. And Julian, he introduced him to his brother-in-law. And both of these guys, they were members of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. It's a secret organization of inspiring wizards that study metaphysics, paranormal, and the occult. So they showed Aleister all this shit. So Aleister was like, fuck it, I'm down. I'm going to join this cult with you guys.
Okay.
Right? And the order, the Golden Dawn made a claim that they translated ancient texts, and they gave the members, like the ability to perform magic and communicate with angels. So he was like, okay, it might be like a real thing, you know? Like these guys, they claim to translate ancient texts and able to use that to perform magic. Because if it was bullshit, they could have did it and then nothing happened, right? So I'm pretty sure they made something happen with magic, and that's why they created like an underground group. Because Because let's say me and you figure something out, and then it worked. We'll keep doing it, right?
Well, yeah, we ain't telling nobody.
Yeah, but if it didn't work, we're not gonna pretend like we're in a fake ass group with some fake magic.
Faking it.
Yeah, well, nobody's gonna follow that shit.
Hell no.
All right, so at the very first meeting, Aleister, he was wearing like a fake mustache, and he had a fake Russian accent, and he introduced himself as Count Vladimir Sources. The only reason why he did this was to protect like his name, so his family don't know that it's in a occult and shit. And he became like official member in 1898, and then he took the name of Frater Perbardo, which meant to endure to the end. This is like the name that he gave.
Okay.
And so in the Golden Dawn, right, every day they would tell all the members, hey, you guys got to practice like magic every day and shit. But before they did that, they would do yoga every day, meditation. They would have like philosophical like discussions, and then they would talk about their dreams and shit. And then like every member, it doesn't matter your rank, they all start performing like magic every day, like to get practice so they can get their guardian angel and shit. Okay. Because that was their goal, is to summon an angel.
Oh, really?
That will watch over them.
Just to watch over them, that's it?
Yeah, to protect them. Like they were doing like white magic, not black magic.
Okay, so I'm thinking about some evil shit.
But then Aleister, right?
Then enters Aleister.
This motherfucker.
Aleister's in the chat.
So Aleister, he was committed to summoning demons, which made like a lot of the members like in the group like concerned about it. They're like, man, why Aleister? What is he doing? Why is he trying to summon demons and shit? And he was interested. They all knew he was interested like in black magic. So they feared that his rank will get like super high, and then he'll become like a dangerous member for that group and for society and shit. Okay. Because they were saying this guy might be out of control later. Because come on, like straight up, like, hey, where the demon books at? Oh yeah. Right. Where you guys keeping those demon books?
Gotta keep an eye on him. He rises up to the ranks too fast and shit.
Yeah. So this is like when the evilness is starting to come in the picture, and like, okay, this is where he transitioned from kind of a normal guy to like somebody that's into like black magic and shit.
I'm noticing this trend with Aleister. It's like when he does something too much, he gets bored and moves on to like crazier shit.
Man, I started
the sex and then this shit. It's like damn, it's like this white magic's cool, but it can get a lot crazier. It just seems like he's just like, what? Once he accomplishes something, he gets bored. It's like fuck. Like it seems like once he like masters something, he gets bored and moves on, and he finds something like,
man, you nailed it.
Some crazier shit.
Yeah, it was weird. It's kind of like I'm kind of the same way, but completely different style. Like I'll do a hobby, and then I will learn it, and then I would get bored, and then I'll drop the hobby. I'll do something else.
Yeah, find something else to learn.
Yeah. When I was like researching him, I looked through all that. I was like, damn, like he liked something, then he stopped, and I was like, damn, this. Is he I looked up his birthday. I was like, is he the same life path as me?
Yeah.
Dude, I looked it up.
He's a
same fucking 7. I was like, oh, that's scary. That's scary because they're saying they have like an evil side too.
Maybe it's like the challenge of it, man. It's like once you know it all, it's like playing a game. It's like playing a video game on easy. It's like there's no fun, man. It's like there's no real challenge to it or anything. You know, just fun.
So later he got like a luxury apartment, right? And And then he asked one of the members in the group, he's like, hey, man, you want to come live at my apartment with me? You can do like rent free as long as you teach me more about the magic shit. And then so he got this dude named Alan Bennett to be his roommate. And this guy was like, I guess like a high rank and shit. So he taught him about like ceremonial magic and the use of drugs during rituals. Like he taught him all that shit. So this is where like Aleister is starting to get his experience up, like doing rituals.
Get that XP.
You know, because I mean, he had a lot of money, so he can afford a luxury apartment.
Yeah.
And then let that guy live rent free as long as his
Yo, you hook me up.
hook him up with some fucking magic spells. The dude's like, I got you, man. And then the first thing to do was like, he's like, you know, you can summon the devil by saying the Lord's Prayer backwards.
Oh shit.
Aleister's like, okay,
Bet.
say no more. Let's try it.
What? He did it.
I don't know what happened with that.
Shit.
I mean, is there any truth to it? I
would
kind of
assume.
heard it before. Like they did something like this before, where you can say like a prayer backwards, and then you get Lucifer Morningstar in your living room.
Yo.
I don't know.
Don't want that.
Man, after like I was researching all this, I was like, I don't think like Lucifer was like a top dog like that. After that, after like I saw more shit with Egyptian gods. I was like, where'd the Lucifer come in?
Man, this new religion took
Might
over.
just be a made up thing now.
Just like a new religion took over. That's how they do with the like the TV show American Gods. It's like all these religions existed before, and it was all dominant at one time. But then people's beliefs are changing, and then new era happens, and then next it was like Christianity's like the new religion, like the top dog or whatever.
Yeah.
So eventually Christianity will go the same way as like other religions, and there'll be some new shit like I don't know, worshiping. I don't know, that fucking battery on the floor or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, I was always gonna be some new shit. Just like some people to look
See,
into.
the only way you can start a new religion, you know what you have to do?
Followers.
No, you got to kill the old religion first. You got to kill all that shit. And I think that's what Hitler was doing.
Oh, because Nazis were that occult shit too, man. Heavy.
Yeah, I think it
Those
all
were big on
ties
shit.
into whatever Aleister started. Because Aleister was before all that.
Before World War II and all that shit. Ooh.
Here's my theory. He did start all this shit, dude. And he left the door was wide open.
Detective Billy Waters
Yeah,
here.
I
I
was
see
like-
you.
Got my Bible out.
Yeah,
Nah, I'm just playing.
because like no, the Nazis are on some real shit, man. There was like a lot of people don't notice. Well, I'm not saying a lot of people don't notice, but what the Nazis was doing, I mean, other than campaigning to wipe out Jews and shit, they was like sending soldiers out to like Egypt and shit. They was like trying to hunt down like ancient items like the Spear of Destiny, the spear that's killed Jesus on the crucifixion cross. They was looking for all that shit.
Yeah, because it has like fucking magic
yes,
blood.
they was trying to find some real shit.
Yeah, Egypt is the spot, man. I'm telling you. Okay, so 1899. This guy, he stays busy every year.
Damn.
1899, he bought a mansion in Scotland near the shores of Loch Ness. So he was living next to my boy Nessie.
Okay,
I was like, cool, man. You're living next to the Loch Ness monster.
your pet.
And then the reason why he was attracted to this house, right? Before he bought it, they said he wanted to learn more about like the history of the house. And then they're like, hey, did you know before the house was built, there was a church built on this land, and it caught on fire, and everybody in the church died. Alistair's like, yeah, let me get that mansion. Yeah, you know,
I want it.
because he wanted something where he knew like there's a lot of spirits and something bad happened, so
Like suffering and
he
shit.
can start doing some cool ass rituals and shit. So he ended up buying that house, and the way the house was laid out, he said it was like perfect layout for him to perform rituals and shit to invoke the kings of hell, which would allow him to summon his guardian angel. Because this was his goal. It's just to do these rituals so he can get his damn guardian angels. Because that's what he was obsessed with doing.
Yeah.
So he would do these rituals every day, no results. He was like, man, what am I doing wrong? You know? So he eventually he got frustrated and he gave up. And this is like the thing, like people are saying he gave up after doing a whole bunch of rituals. So a lot of people, like even in the occult, were saying he started something and he didn't finish it, and he left like the doors wide open.
If anybody else just pick that shit up and go with it or continue it.
Almost like he left the doors of the gates of hell open.
Oh, that type of. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So then I don't know. This was just what they're saying because a lot of evil shit did happen ever since like Aleister was doing shit like this.
Yeah.
Because like later, you would get like World War I would happen, right? And then later, I guess the doors are still open. So much more evil shit happened, like came out of the door. And then other people got affected, like Hitler. And then they saw like the true vision of whatever the God wanted them to do.
I wonder if she's got any connection. I can't think of where this place is at.
Till today, yeah.
It might be in Europe. It's like there's a church out there that's like sits on top of this hill. Something like some people just stumbled across it like years ago. It's like this massive ass church, and the way it's designed, because it has like walls built around it of this church. The way it's designed, no, it's like a castle, but the way it's designed and everything like that, and how it's structured, is to trap whatever's inside that castle from getting out.
So it's made like of glass.
It's not really glass. It's just like it looks like a regular castle, but just like the way the walls are turned in, like.
Oh,
Like,
I think I kind of know.
It's kind of like the way like whatever's inside of that, because like they used to do like occult shit there too in the basement. Like back during World War II, Nazis took over that spot too, and it was rumored that they was doing like occult shit in the basement on it. But the castle was literally designed to like maybe it's like you're saying like it's like the rumor has like there's like the gate of hell is in the basement, and the Nazis was trying to open it up, but that's why the castle was like the castle was basically built on top of that shit
keep whatever's
in there. Yeah. Some wild shit, but.
Man, see, they were doing like a lot of weird, wild shit back then.
Man, I'm like either they crazy or they know something we don't know.
Yeah, I think they were actually doing like real magic and shit.
Man, they was really trying to get some shit going.
Spelled with like a K.
Yeah, with the K. Yeah, not with the
C. A little
the
K.
K. That's the legit one.
That's the real magic. That's the magic that I don't know, make you do some hood shit. All right, so. He gave up and he said, fuck it, I'm going to go do something else. So he started traveling again. Then, later, like in life, he ended up meeting that dude, Alan Bennett, the guy that was his roommate.
Yeah.
And then his roommate, he actually got into something else. He got into a Buddhism, and he became a Buddhist monk. So he completely, he stopped doing the occult black magic shit, and then he went to the peaceful route. And then he said, hey, let me teach you how to do some shit. So he taught Aleister yoga, and Aleister was like, Aleister claims that he saw, like when he was learning yoga, he saw that dude fucking floating.
Oh, shit.
Like during meditation. And he's like, he just started levitating from the ground while he was meditating, and then he was just moving like a feather in the wind. And then when he saw that, he got like inspired. He's like, wow, this shit's crazy. But it didn't like inspire him like to do it. It just inspired him to travel to like India, and then he got back into like mountain climbing, because that's what's like his I guess his passion.
Just climbing mountains. And
like
shit.
he really do like climbing mountains.
Damn.
He gets a high off of that shit.
The challenge.
So after like he got bored of mountain climbing, 1903 he got married to a lady named Rose.
He finally settled down.
Yeah. He settled down with a lady named Rose, but it's like their marriage was kind of like a sham because there's some like weird shit that happened. I didn't write it down, I forgot. But it's kind of like a sham, but he ended up like falling deeply in love with her and shit after they went on like a honeymoon. But Rose was a sister of one of Aleister painter friends, because Aleister is a painter too.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
And then his painter friend sister was the girl that he ended up getting married to.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so later, like, they went on their honeymoon, right? They rented an apartment in Cairo, Egypt. And they said, hey, we're like the prince and princess. So I guess they got the VIP. Right?
The suite.
So then Aleister, he started, in Egypt, he started studying the Egyptian deities, the Islamic mysticism, I can't say it, and Arabic. So he started studying all that Egypt shit. Okay. Then he made a room, like in the apartment, like a temple room, where he started doing like rituals with his wife. Oh. So his wife, this is where she came in the picture. So when he was doing like rituals, right, she would become like delirious. Like, she would start like speaking like cryptic messages and shit, like from the gods. And one of the things she says was, they're waiting for you. And then another thing they said was, the equinox of the gods have come. And then Aleister was like, man, are you lying? You're just saying some shit.
Some bullshit.
But then like later, like in 1904, during like one of these spells, right, she said she saw an Egyptian god named Horus.
The bird dude.
Yeah, this is scary because I saw it too. And this is why this story kind of hit me a little bit, because I was like, why did I see it? But she saw the Egyptian god Horus. Aleister was like, "You're a liar. You're a fucking liar. Show me what he looked like." This is like back then. So she was like, "Okay, let's go to one of the museums in Egypt." So they went to the museum, and she was like, there it is. That's what I saw." And then he was like, his jaw dropped. He was like, "What?" He was like, "You sure you saw him? You know, God of Horus?" Like, "Yeah, that's the guy I saw." And then he was like, "Holy shit. Okay, let's go back and let's do this again. You know, let's try to get him to come back and give us like a message, whatever."
Yeah.
But here's the crazy thing. Another crazy thing, right? The monument of Horus in Egypt in the museum, the number for it was 666. Like the number for the monument.
Yeah.
Which was like,
Yeah,
is that, I mean, come on. What are the odds?
Hey.
Aleister's like, "Hey, this is my time. This is my time to shine." So they went back to the crib, right? They went back to the crib, and then they started doing more rituals. And then he ended up hearing like a voice. And it wasn't like the voice of like Horus the god. It was his messenger.
Okay.
So Horus, he sent his messenger to go talk to Aleister. Where was I?
The messenger.
Okay, so yeah, he ended up talking to the messenger instead. His name's like Iwas. And for 3 days, the voice was telling him to write everything down.
Yeah.
And he wrote down so much shit from what the gods was telling him, the messenger guy. It ended up resulting in a book called The Book of the Law, which is a book that's actually available on Amazon. Like somebody got all the pages and then put it in a book, and then now it's on Amazon. You can buy that shit.
What the hell?
This book is crazy. It's like the philosophy of this new religion. It's called Dilema. This is like the religion of the true God that he saw, that gave him like all the shit to write down for the book.
Yeah.
For 3 days, he wrote down all this shit, and it's a whole bunch of principles on how you're supposed to live your life. And if you like some of the shit they're saying, it made sense, dude. It made sense how you're supposed to live your life.
So it wasn't like just like straight up evil book that he used.
I don't know. I don't think it was all full evil. It was more like a philosophy of normal life without being tied down to like a religion. It's not even telling you like that's the thing. It's saying like live exactly how you want to live.
That sounds kind of dope. I see what you're saying now. So it's like it's not a okay. Because you got to think about like back then too. Like it's a little bit like 2021 and back then, whenever that was like early 1900s. I would imagine like a shit ton of people are tied their lives in religion way more back then than what it is now.
Yeah.
And it's probably teaching people like, hey, like you don't have to be tied down to nothing. Like you could still be you without having to believe in nothing.
Yeah.
Some shit. You know,
So that holds a lot of people back from pursuing like their real path or whatever.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
So okay, so that's the book. That's the foundation of Aleister religion and philosophy. Okay, so some of the principles say, one of them is follow your true path to find your true will. There's another principle that says love is the law. Love under will. Love is secondary to finding your true path. I think that's one of the realest ones.
Some deep shit.
Because I mean, let's say you don't ever find love, right? A lot of people, they never find it, so they never actually find the true path because they're still trying to get that first thing down.
Yeah.
So I think that's like, it could be like a love for anything, like a love for like whatever you're doing, like your passion and shit.
Yeah, I was thinking too just now because that's what I was thinking of just now too. I was like, well, it can't just be like love isn't like loving a person, it's like loving like a craft or something, or you know, some shit like that.
That's how you see planes flying.
Somebody had to love it.
Yeah, they were so obsessed and in love with the passion that they were able to make planes fly. So I think like here's the thing, like I'm thinking, because every time I have a trip, I always like the main message is love all the time. And I'm thinking like love is something like right now, science, you can't measure that shit. But I think it really is an actual thing that you can add to like an element chart or whatever. I think it's one of the things that maybe later, I don't know how many years later, but science one day, they're going to recognize like love as something like, as a real thing.
Yeah, because how's it like? Because that's like even like I think the movie Interstellar touched on that too. Like with love is like that thing. It's like the one thing that can never be explained is like why the fuck does this even exist or something like that. That's some kind of equation or something she was saying in the movie.
It's like let me give you an example. Like when your mom is cooking you food, right? As a kid, that shit tastes delicious, right? So then like older, as you get older, like all the kids move out the house. And then I ate my mom cooking one day. I, came randomly one day, and then I just ate the food. I'm like, this tastes like shit. I didn't say it like that, but it wasn't good.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, like my mom don't cook good no more. And I'm thinking like, maybe she just don't love that shit no more.
Yeah, she just love making it. Yeah.
She's just doing it to survive now.
Yeah.
Because like here's another thing. I saw this guy. He took like a trip, right? And then he said he asked the God. Says like, can you put love in cookies? Then he was like, I found out you could put love in cookies. Yeah. See, that's why I'm thinking like this is a thing. Like it's real.
For real.
So that means we have
legit shit, man. You gotta put some love into it if you want to like. You know the difference. It's kind of like it's like even being like in a relationship. And the second like people stop loving each other, you can feel the difference. And then like, or if you're in there like, I don't love her no more. Like that effort, that energy's not there anymore, man. The effort that you put into it,
the spark is gone.
The spark is dead. That's some deep shit, man. I like that love.
So just find your find love first, and then everything will
just fall in line.
It'll be like clockwork. Like, oh shit, I'm rich. I'm just playing. All right, and then here's another one saying he said people are like stars. Like we have a set time and space, but there are also people who are independent who avoid conflict with the stars.
I don't get it.
I'm thinking like he's saying like some people are like NPCs, like they're just there, like they exist in a set time, and then there's other people that's real people, like the independent people that's actually doing real shit, like they're the one changing their own path or whatever. And then there's people that live on like a set path. There's people that live on hey, I'm gonna start doing a whole bunch of shit, see what the hell's going on.
Yeah, some people in that quest mode.
Yeah, they're on quest mode, and others are NPCs. That's chilling. How I saw it. So like the base of all these principles, like what I was saying, is just basically telling you just to do what you want in life. Like don't let anybody dictate like who you should be or who to follow. Like do whatever you think is right.
Free will.
Like, if you want to follow religion, go ahead. But when they're controlling you, and then you question, hey, why? Hey, that's when you got to start waking up and
make some choices,
trying to figure something out, man. Because some of the religion is crazy, like the Middle Easterns one, where they cover like the females, like all you can see is like their eyeballs and their ankles.
Yeah,
to me that's weird.
It's their culture though, man.
It's crazy culture. Those guys are crazy.
Take it down. Didn't we talk about like Key and Peele? Was that you? Didn't we talk about no? With no, that wasn't you and me. Maybe. I was talking about with a friend last week. We were talking about Key and Peele. Like it's like these two Arab dudes. They're like in the gym, and they see like these American women walk around the gym. They're like, oh, look at the ankle cleavage on her. Like they be tripping so hard when they be seeing like women like wearing like just shorts and shit.
The ankle porn.
Yeah, there's ankle porn. It's like yeah. So look at the ankle cleavage on that one. And she's just like some regular chick walking past.
That's wild.
But yeah, I mean, that's a part of our culture. I try to respect everybody's culture. I just remember as I got older and I became my own adult and all that. Well, especially when I was a teenager, that's why I was kind of like, I don't like really being tied down by anything, like by any kind of law that a man created. So I'm like, I'm gonna just kind of just still live my life and be a good person. I mean, I do feel like sometimes where, and I've known people like this too, would have grown up in like this either a religious household or really stuck down a religion, and like so many opportunities may have passed them by because they wanted to follow this law that they've always been taught to live instead of being a person, I mean, not saying you're not people.
Yeah.
If you believe in religion, but
also they're wasting like a lot of their own time because the people, like the church people, the one that go knocking on people's doors.
Oh, like Jehovah's Witness?
Harassing people.
So Jehovah's Witness? Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what are you guys doing? Go back home.
They don't come to my door anymore. I told them off like 2 years ago.
I have to put the little no soliciting sign, and then they stop coming.
Damn, they actually for real?
It worked.
Man, my parents did that back when I was a kid. You would think they couldn't read. And it's just like right there at eye level.
Yeah. They never came after that.
They be bullshitting.
All right, so in this book that he wrote, he said he defined magic, like the real magic, MAGICK, as the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with the will. That makes sense?
No.
It's saying you can change like something happening because you want it to happen.
Oh, you willed it into existence.
Because you want it to happen.
Gotcha.
Like, hey, I want to really knock this bottle down.
Willpower, just knock that shit off. Boom.
And you can, yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
If you think about it hard enough, like the dude was fucking floating and shit.
How badly do you really want to do this? You have to will it to existence. It's kind of like them positive, good vibes and shit type thing. Like you gotta want that shit.
Mel said, Jehovah's send letters now.
Yeah, I be getting to Watchtower and shit.
I don't get no letters from them.
They be COVID kind of fucking can change the game now, so they don't really be knocking on doors like that. Because they old people too, so I mean, but they're not all old, but the ones that why don't you always want to send the old people out there to do the legwork? I've never seen nobody young. I've seen toddlers, but I've always gotten like the old black lady. Mm-hmm. Like they got strong ass calves or something.
I've seen like teenagers like they have like book bags on and they're wearing like a white collared shirt.
Like Mormons?
Is that Mormons?
That's Mormons.
That might be Mormons.
I used to see them all the time chilling at Martyr though. I used to see them all the time.
They're not there no more.
No, they gone?
They're scared of COVID.
Oh damn.
I'm like, thank God.
She got too biblical.
I hate it when they watch me and shit.
Tenendo, what's good, man?
Welcome.
What's
all right,
up?
so Aleister, right? He went to go talk to Ayahuasca again, his guardian angel, and the guardian angel he told him to go steal that monument at the museum, the one with the God of Horus, and also he told him to translate that book that he just wrote in every single language.
Oh shit!
Because he wanted to get that word out, and I think that happened because, like, we're here today because I think he influenced a lot of shit in technology. Like, I think all the shit boomed the technology shit. Okay. Because he let aliens in it.
Oh, shit.
He let aliens through the doors. Yeah, and they gave the technology, and then, like, here we are now talking about him. He did it, dude. We're supposed to still be, like, riding horses.
He's like, come on in, guys. Door's open.
Yeah. So then Aleister was like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's like, I'm not going to go to a damn museum and steal a damn monument.
For real.
He was like, why? Why you want me to do that? So he's like, fuck it. That's when he stopped talking to his angel. He's like, nah, I'm done. And then he went to go back to his wife, and he actually started a family.
Damn.
And then I guess that God was, like, pissed off. Like, fuck. Like, I thought we really had somebody.
I thought we was cool, man. Tripping, Aleister.
It's like, let's just wait till Hitler's born.
Shit, we got to wait for, like, what year is this? Like, we got to wait, like, 40 more years. Actually, Hitler already been born.
Yeah, he was born already. Yeah. But, like, after, like, he written the book, I'm pretty sure, like, there was a lot of people that read it and believed it.
And this is the same shit on Amazon.
Yep, you can buy it on Amazon. It's called The Book of the Law.
Holy shit.
A lot of rappers talk about it, too. And they're saying the ones that speak, like, good about it, if you look at the comment section, they're like, oh, man, you're into that blood sacrifices and pedophile kid shit. I was like, God damn.
Jesus. I ain't playing.
But it's saying how, you know, that book influenced, like, a lot of the music from, like, Led Zeppelin, the Beatles.
All that shit.
A lot of the hip-hop music, too, and shit.
I found that out today, too. I was like, oh, this shit goes deep.
Yeah. So, okay, so he went back to his wife to have a kid. He had a daughter and shit. And then he's trying to get back to the normal life, writing poetry, trying to sell it. But, you know, it wasn't selling. Because the God was like, nah, we're not going to give you no sales. We're going to change the algorithm. So none of his books were being...
Put you at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, it was like on the back of the damn shelf and shit. Okay, so then he told his friends at the occult, right? He was telling them a story about the voice that he heard, his guardian angel. And then when the people in the occult, they heard the news, like, about what he was saying, like who he saw, the Ayahuasca, they're like, dude, you know you're talking to a demon, right?
Oh.
Aleister's like, what? I was talking to a demon the whole time.
Oh, so the demon was faking it, pretending he was an angel?
I'm guessing, because I don't know how the occult know about it, but they're saying he summoned a demon. He didn't summon no clean angel. I guess you call him clean angel, right? Yeah. A good angel?
That makes sense. He's trying to get him to fucking do some sticky finger shit.
Yeah, because the occult, they didn't agree with a lot of the shit Aleister believed in shit. Like him being bisexual. They're like, nah, man, that's not cool. Like, you shouldn't even do that. You know? And then the occult, like, they said his moral values was fucked up with the sex workers. So they're trying to tell him, like, how to live his life and shit.
He just living his life, man. He ain't hurt nobody.
So they want to kick him out because he was a problem now. So they're like, man, Aleister, you got to go, dude. Like, we don't want you in the group no more. Everybody wants you out. So then Aleister, he got into, like, an argument with one of the members and shit, right? Like, one of the main members, like, in that lodge. So they got into, like, a magic fight. This shit was crazy. I don't know how real it was and shit, but the dude, he was using like white magic on Aleister, and he made Aleister fucking trip down the stairs with white magic, right? I was like, that's white magic? That's kind of evil.
Yeah, he could have broke his damn neck.
Yeah, but then there's the funny part. Aleister, he got pissed. He was like, man, I'm going to the main boss in fucking London. So he went to London, right? He told the main boss about this shit. You know what the main boss said? He said, go take over that lodge. So, hey, thank you for the host, Tom Fox.
Tom
Thank
Fox,
you.
what's up?
So he told him to take over the lodge. And then what he did, he changed all the locks, right? And then he would watch the members try to go, and they're like, oh, shit, it's locked. Then, but they end up finding out Aleister did it.
So he changed all the locks and doors?
Yeah, he changed all the locks, just fuck with them, because he wanted to take over that shit.
Yeah.
And then he got in trouble. He actually got sued. So they took his ass to court and shit.
So they couldn't go inside the lodge, or they couldn't leave?
Yeah, they couldn't go inside. So, I mean, that is a crime. That's not even his building.
Yeah, that's
He
legal.
out
You
there
can't be changing no locks.
He went to Home Depot back then, changing all the locks and shit. Yeah, so he ended up going to court, and then he was like, man, fuck this shit. I'm out. I'm going to go climb mountains again. So he went to go climb mountains again, right? And as he was like climbing mountains, like with his old group and shit, they're like, man, you know what, Aleister? You're becoming a problem. Like, you don't follow like none of our commands or anything, and you're making it dangerous for all the other guys. So we don't want to climb with you no more. Like, we're out. We don't want to be in a group. But then Aleister was like, okay, you guys want to play like that? This motherfucker ran into his tent, right? He started calling up his god, the ayahuasca guy. You know what happened?
What?
A fucking avalanche.
It is still at the lodge, right?
No, avalanche at the climbing.
Okay, so
mountain.
Shit, okay.
Because his climbing buddy,
People was with him. Yeah,
he didn't want to fuck with him no more. So Aleister was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go.
Fucking eviscerate them.
Yeah, he started meditating, and his guardian came out and fucking created like an avalanche. See, here's the story. I don't know if the avalanche killed all of them except for him, or if it didn't kill anybody.
I was about to ask you that too.
Because I was trying to look it up. I was like, oh fuck, I don't know where it's at. Because I just heard the story, and then I couldn't find the information if it killed anybody. Because I kind of remember a long time ago hearing somebody say that the avalanche killed everybody in the group, and the only one alive was Aleister. But I don't know how true that is. But if that's true, is that crazy?
It's a bad motherfucker.
That's crazy.
Yo, don't make Aleister mad. He will drop snow on you.
Yep. That's pretty wild, dude.
Damn. Yeah, I was about to ask him, like, yo, I'm like, are they all dead?
So then, like, he stopped, like, climbing mountains and shit. So, like, his next adventure, he started, like hunting big game. But he was doing it in India. And then he actually got banned from India because he accidentally shot a dude. But it wasn't really like an accident. He said the dude was like trying to jack him, so he shot his ass. So then, like, dude, get out of here. We don't want you here, Aleister. You're like a big problem now.
Fuck out of here, man.
Aleister's like, man, I was like, what am I supposed to do now? So he moved to China. And then he was working on more magic there. And then he was saying that he believes that the Chinese people, like their spirituality is superior to everybody like on Earth. Okay. Like their level of like the spirit shit is super high level. And then he's saying, hey, and then he said he got a glimpse of his past life as a whole bunch of like Chinese leaders and shit in the past dynasty. I was like, oh, that's cool, man.
Damn.
He said that he learned like this magic where he was able to make himself invisible. And then the way he tested it was he put like a red like robe on with a king's crown, and he walked like in the middle of like a busy city. Nobody even acknowledged him. I don't know how true that is. That's just a story Aleister said.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Who's calling him a liar though? Like he's not really trying to gain some type of fame. This fool, he just want to see some crazy shit.
That's how it sounds like.
Yeah.
Just trying to do some wild shit. And this man still married?
Yeah, he's still married.
I almost forgot he had a fucking family at home. I forgot all about that.
He forgot like he got a family too and shit, because when he went back home, his daughter died.
Damn.
She died from something, and then him and his wife was blaming each other for the death of the daughter. So then
ain't never here, motherfucker.
They ended up like splitting up and then parting ways, and she started cheating, and
Damn, man.
It was wild.
Aleister should have got that love potion ready, man. Get his wife back. Little bitch. But the man ain't never home though, for real though. You got to at least check in. Damn.
Oh, like later, like he started like learning like more rituals, but this time it got like more darker. Like he started doing rituals with like sex and blood to summon like entities, right? This is like back then, right? He said he summoned this one entity and he drew how it looked like. This is before like we even knew what aliens looked like, because you know, we didn't get no drawings of like gray aliens with the big heads until like World War II type era or whatever, like during like the 40s, 1940s.
Like Roswell and shit.
Yeah,
man.
and this was like early, and he drew like the entity. I saw the picture. It looks like a fucking alien with a little human face.
Shit.
I was like, holy shit! Like it looks like the dude from that one cartoon, the digital cartoon with the guy. He has the big brain.
What?
He has a big brain. It's like Megamind something. Is that
Megamind?
Megamind?
Oh.
It looks like that. Yeah.
The fuck you talking about? I know what you're talking. He's like blue dude.
He's
He's
like
like blue
blue.
guy. Yeah. I forget the movie, but yeah, it's like a Pixar movie. I
Yeah,
think.
he drew a picture of him. He said that's what he saw.
Oh shit.
I think that might be like the evil alien.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it about his life.
Big head alien.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of people they remember him as as genius, and other people think he's like the Antichrist.
So, man, like, his story is like he's done so much shit the whole time when he was like telling his story. I was like, how the fuck old is he at this point doing this shit? I lost track. Like after 14, after that, it just was like,
Yeah,
man,
it's like every year was like
every year was like some fucking adventure.
he was doing a lot of shit like within a year.
Damn, he lived his life though. I give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
So why does he get like such a bad rap for being like just a fucking crazy person or some kind of
It's
devil
with
dude?
this all. It's with like the magic rituals and the occult stuff. Like that shit is like, I guess, evil. Because if you're trying to summon like something, like wouldn't that be like teaching people how to do that? Is that wild? That's wild, right? Because we don't really understand it unless like you can fucking measure that shit in the science lab, which I think they're doing.
I wonder if he got hit too with like a lot of like what's such a bad rep too, just because he lived his life the way he wanted. Like he was like smashing men and women. That shit is like
He lived like
mad frowned upon.
He lived like his religion, like the true path. The Lima, he did whatever the fuck he want. Here's like his final quote. He says, "We must conquer life by living it to the full, and then we can go into the depths of that prestige." Crazy, right?
Hey,
It's pretty
man.
deep. Like, live your life to the full, man, and then you can fucking
One day I like penis, other day I like vagina. It doesn't matter. But I'm having fun.
live a real life, man.
Hey man, it's a life lesson we should all take to heart. Shout out to him.
Yep.
I'm thinking he was gonna be like.
Like, do what you want, not what a religion tells you what to do.
I'm thinking he was like killing babies and shit. That's what I thought I was gonna get. I thought it was gonna elevate to that level of like.
If he did, they didn't put it down.
I mean, they got no reason to lie about it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, here's like another thing. Like he never killed anybody.
that's what I was thinking the whole time. Because after the shit I'm about to talk about, you would think that this Aleister guy was the worst thing since like I don't know, fucking Morningstar or some shit. Like this dude's like the most evilest human on the planet. He just sound like a dude just trying to live. I mean, I don't know about all that summoning and shit. That might be some other shit, but
He was on another level.
He's like, no,
He's a true like philosopher. Like he knew a lot of stuff that normal people didn't know.
yeah.
And it's still like his shit still fucking vibrates till this day. Like it's still being influenced on today, like how society is.
Yeah.
And all he did was open up a little portal, letting up all these entities come in our dimension and giving us this cool technology. Because
Just chilling.
Hitler out there, they gave Hitler the sign. They gave him like a lot of technology. Hitler's like, yeah, just give me all that shit. I'll help you spread this religion. Like, let me just get these gas chambers up real quick.
Get this shit going, man.
World War II happened.
Boom.
Like, he was really gonna do it.
You weren't playing.
Yep. And then somebody else got a hold of, I don't know. I don't know what the
Got a hold
fuck
of
happened.
something.
Like, I don't know how did they beat that shit. Maybe Wonder Woman came and
She showed
remember
up
that?
in
Yeah.
1984. She showed up. And,
Yeah, she stopped the war.
Oh, that's right. No, the World War one. That's right.
See, World War One happened after he already opened up the portal. Because it happened, like, World War One is like 1914 or some shit like that. And he already been opened up a portal. So then World War II happened, like, what, 39? 1939?
35, 30, some shit, whatever.
And now the portal's still open, so now we're waiting on another big shit to happen. Something big is going to happen.
Man, if we haven't had anything big happen yet, I'll be. Seems like we done went through some shit already, man.
It's already happening.
You think we would have already been in this shit?
But yeah, that's all I got for Aleister.
That was interesting.
He lived a cool ass life, man. Cool ass dude.
Just free as a bird, man.
Free bird, man.
I respect. He's like, fuck the norm. I like men and women.
Yeah, getting fucking drilled.
And I like my cheese getting clapped too. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Equal opportunities, I guess. You know, cool.
All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna jump into Chris' topic.
Hell yeah, sit tight.
Be right back, guys.
A little late.
Like, we needed this the whole time. I was like, you're like 70 years old, maybe 80.
Said maybe.
Yeah, I don't know their age.
Amazing.
All right, guys, we're back. All right,
shit.
so we're gonna jump into Chris and the devil. All right.
Look, it's cold in here, dude.
I get to relax and enjoy.
Yeah, sit back and relax. I'll unplug this little motherfucker. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Take a nap.
All right, folks. Now. All right, folks. All right, so we're moving past Aleister Crowley now, and now we're moving in. We're hopping in time machine right now. Before we hop forward to 1980s and the early 90s, we're gonna stop by the 70s in America, right? So
that's a hippie movement, right?
Yeah, the hippie movement and flower power. So this is after like civil rights movement and all this other shit.
When that dude figured out how to make LSD.
Which one? Oh, the guy. Oh, he did it in the 70s?
He did it like, I think maybe 70s or like a little before.
I was like 60s for some reason.
Yeah, it's before.
Yeah, so America was going through this weird cultural shift with after the civil rights movement and all this other wild shit was going on. And so you got to think about like how the 70s were, which in the 70s was like that real big era of like fucking serial killers that was out there. Like the Ted Bundys, John Wayne Gacy's, who's like the clown guy. Was it the Son of Sam? David Berkowitz, I think his name was. He was just going around and just like shooting people.
Golden State Killer.
Zodiac Killer, all types of shit. Like
Zodiac.
The Strangler. Like that was like the world was a wild place in America. Just serial killers just popping up all left and right. And the world, and America was like very confused, and of course a lot of people were scared shitless. Like, oh, these people seem to be popping up more and more, and then the people at authorities having issues trying to, capture them, or they're blending into regular society like us or whatever, right? And then so I guess a lot of people, and then that's just my theory on why this craze started, which is coined as like the Satanic Panic, is because in the year of 1980 there was this guy named Lawrence Pasder. He's like this psychologist, whatever.
Psychologist?
Like a psychologist, I think he was, whatever. It's like psychiatrist. Oh, yeah, he was a psychiatrist who did hypnotism on his wife, Michelle. Like he does like hypnotism on her, whatever. She kind of like
with the little thing that you
like
gotta follow with your eyeball.
Yeah, like keep your eye on this fucking marble or something. I don't know what he got, but he was like but basically he hypnotized his wife Michelle, and she wants to go into this trance, and she winds up talking about something in her past that her husband
did to her?
That Lawrence never knew anything about at all. Like this dude's like,
so what? Like he wiped her memory after he did like crazy shit?
No. It was like he just hypnotized her, and then she went to this trance, and then she goes back. She's always mentioning about how when she was a child, she was always getting like being taken. She was always being taken. She was like the subject of like these satanic rituals, always being taken to these basements, getting molested, all these stories like rituals, children being killed.
He didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah, he says he knew nothing about this whatsoever.
So that caught his curiosity.
Yes, and then so he wrote a book of that came out because they live in Canada. This is in Canada.
Oh.
He wrote this book based about his wife's account of the stories that she told about her being these satanic rituals. The book is called Michelle Remembers, and then the book is all about like her life, just like all the shit that she was going through, just growing up, like basically like they were like repressed memories that she went through, but like it was just so traumatizing her. Her brain just kind of like shut it out and just
right. That's a real thing.
Yeah, it's real shit. It's actually real shit about that, and
that's so like pretty wild, man.
Yeah, so like and then so I guess like when people were trying to so the book was released because they did this back in the 70s. The book came out in the year 1980, right? And the book became like a fucking like huge success like within America. Everybody was buying this book, and I feel like the reason why it maybe became a huge success is because all this crazy shit that was going on in the 70s with all these serial killers. A lot of people was like, holy shit, maybe it's like some kind of satanic kind of connection or whatever. And I think that's what a lot of this is when the ball started rolling with a lot of like bullshit that starts going down throughout the 80s and 90s because the Satanic Panic wound up becoming almost like not almost, but it wound up becoming like Salem witch trials, like accusing people of being like satanic, like being a cult or whatever like that. And a lot of motherfuckers are end up in prison for like 20 years, damn near to life, off of like accusations that weren't even true.
Wow,
it was wild. It was wild as hell, man.
Was this like the same era with the Finders cult? Remember?
Think so. What was it? Was it 80s, 90s?
It might have been all at the same time.
It might have been. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Finders Cult might have been around the same time. But yeah, that was like when
you would see weird shit, like you'll see like 2 adults with like 7 children in a van, and then he'll open the van, they go play out in the playground, but they look all fucking beat up. And people's like, hey, something is weird about that.
Kids look a little rough.
Finders Cult's crazy, man.
And so what wound up happening was so it's like so that book was what really got the ball rolling for the Satanic Panic because, like I said, big success, and it seemed like the people that really like fed into this shit, that was really into like kind of like scared, was kind of like suburban white communities, like just scared of like, hey, like if anybody knows how the structure of America started working at one point, a lot of white people used to live in the inner cities, and then minorities moved in. And then I think around like the 50s and 60s, that's when white people moved out and moved to the suburbs. Because I think the suburbs weren't even really a thing at the time. It was always just like you either live in the city or you live out there in the farm. And there was like no suburban area until just suburban white Americans just left the city, started like communities and shit like that. And a lot of them just usually just have like this fear of like, okay, that the boogeyman's always going to destroy this thing that we've built as like a safe community for people like us or whatever. And the Satanic Panic, after this book came out, only fanned the flames a little bit more. Like, oh shit, like we got people that live amongst us that might be like they might not be that cool. They may be, maybe involved in some wild shit or whatever.
So they just started accusing everybody.
Oh hell yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, it was kind of like, and even you just like, yo, I just like this type of music. Like, fuck, why am I going to jail because this kid went missing? But now you point a finger at me because you think I'm involved with Satan, and motherfuckers going to jail for this shit, man. It was horrible. And then I found out decades later, like, yeah, there's no evidence that you was there, but you're free.
You can't like wear those emo pants.
You can't do nothing, man.
With the emo like necklace and shit.
And also too, what like a lot of people started realizing too was like the story of like with Aleister Crowley. A lot of people started picking up on this story, and how a lot of parents that lived in suburbs didn't want their kids to listen to rock music because like Led Zeppelin and like I think probably even like Ozzy Osbourne, which I could definitely see him,
it's
fucking with Crowley and all that.
Influence from like his philosophy and shit.
Yeah, and it's like, oh shit, like, but like I said, the story you just told don't seem to match up with their fear of Aleister Crowley. It is so somewhere that along the line, that story must have got twisted about who he was, and they didn't want the kids listening to rock music and shit because they all thought it was like satanic shit at the time too. Generation has always been like that with their kids.
Yeah,
like
it might have been like some of the things they were doing. It could have been like a spell within the song,
Yeah.
Because
they would play like some shit backwards.
You could put like magic within like a song.
Yeah, I can't remember what band it was, but they would put like some what do you call it? Subliminal messages in their shit. Like if you played in reverse.
Yeah.
But
it's a lot of cryptic shit, and the songs that's like really popular back then, the ones where it's kind of controversial.
Yeah.
Even classical music, that shit has decrypted messages. Yeah. That's what I believe.
Yeah. Hey man,
it's fucking cool, man.
And so one of the big cases that happened at the time was this is like the current. This is called like the Kern County abuse allegations. Okay, and that basically is like this journalist named Debbie Nathan. She basically talks about like how within Bakersfield, California.
Hey, Bakersfield.
Yeah, Bakersfield, California, out in the 80s. She's like basically like she talks about like how so journalist Debbie Nathan talks about the basic blueprints of Satanic Panic, and basically talks about like to right wing Christian fundamentalists steeped in lore about the devil. So it was like a lot of people who was like. What really blew up in the 80s a lot too was the evangelical movement, and like the pastors you be seeing on TV that be raking in like millions and millions of fucking dollars and got like fucking private jets and shit. It really blew up like in the 80s because people were getting scared of like satanic cults and shit like that, and they kind of flocked to these evangelicals who, I mean, I ain't knocking nobody for believing in them and shit, but they kind of, if you got an ATM inside your church, I question your flag,
I think this was like back then, like this is when they realized where they could actually make money from
yes,
churches.
off people's fear. Yes, and that's where
So then, like,
kind of
hey,
people are scared of the devil. What if I make them believe like if they pay me, I can protect them? And they took advantage of it, man. And dude, you can literally do an entire podcast just on that alone, man. But they just kind of like they kind of just saw an opportunity, like capitalize on people's fears.
And then they don't get taxed.
Hey, they figured the game out, man. But so like no, so in Bakersfield, California, there was like this huge like rumors were going around about a lot of these daycare, like there was like these rumors going around like Satan was infiltrating like these daycare child centers and all that.
Satan?
It's Satan. He was like
He was
taking over
hey,
the shit.
I'm here, guys. I'm here to take your kids.
And so as they said, like Michelle Remembers was actually a huge part of their training when a number of children came forward. A lot of kids were coming forward about stories that they was being molested in these daycares and these rituals or whatever. You want to find out over time that a lot of people was being coerced into it, or they was like, hey Billy, like you go to this daycare center, you got molested, he took you down to a dungeon, did all this nice stuff to you, and they was doing satanic rituals. This is what you're gonna tell the police, kid. And the kid be like, okay, and we go tell them. A lot of these people that was like, doing these to these kids, trying to tell them like to lie, was getting their ideas from Michelle Remembers' book. That's what it was like. I got this idea because I don't know if it was these people were just trying to be sure to mean, or if they just got so paranoid. There was like, there's something wrong with this daycare. Something's awful with it. I don't care if they like what this kid's telling me is whatever. Like maybe this kid just told me that nothing's wrong, but I'm not buying it. So I think it's like people's paranoia like got the best of them for the most part. And I mean, I just wanted like any way to take down these daycares. It's like,
so do you think more of the stories are true about like what the kids are saying, or you think more if it was all made up?
I think it was all more made up. I mean, if I was gonna run a cult, it wouldn't be a fucking daycare. It would be if I'm gonna run something in secret, it's gonna be in secret. It's not gonna be like no. A daycare would be like.
But why would they bring down a daycare center if it's?
People get paranoid over shit, man, and that's one thing I realized too when I was.
Look, they get paranoid, but then they're telling the kids to make up a story to bring it down.
Yeah, they're telling they're speaking to the kids like, hey, like, I don't know, it's weird.
I wish they would have let me interview the kids. I can read that shit.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you're lying.
And it says, you're fucking bullshitting me, kid.
Get out of here, kid. Lock the door.
As when a number of children came forward to declare that they had been molested as part of the clandestine local occult sex ring, two of the girls had been coached by a grandparent who was believed to have a history of mental illness. So there was like some crazy ass grandmother who thought there was a fucking cult going on too. When the kids, they want to find out, like, yeah, the crazy ass grandmother was telling them, hey, repeat this story again, that this was going on there. And because when the police were investigating, they weren't finding any like evidence showing that this was all going on. Like, there's no labyrinth underneath this daycare. There's none of this wild shit going on. So these stories aren't really adding up.
What if they cleaned it up really good?
Or maybe it was like, or maybe it wasn't even at that location. Cause I'm not saying I believe in this 100%, but I can't disprove it either. But maybe they think it might have been a daycare. Maybe it's not. I mean, I do think there's wild ass cults out there, but
I think all those kids got raped.
And it says
they can't make that up.
It says two.
It's not even a fun story to talk about.
It says over the coming months, like this story was strange, occult, sex acts, but so it basically is like between 1984 and 1986, they ran an investigation with these labyrinths, with these wild ass claims of satanic rituals. And 26 people actually wound up going to fucking jail for this shit, for like convictions of just, for all these convictions from like kidnapping, and all this other stuff, despite a complete lack of corroborative physical evidence of any claims. So basically, like 26 people wound up going to jail over these claims of this sex cult going on in a daycare, and there was no evidence to say like this happened. Mm-hmm. It's just all hearsay, and you just want to find out.
I guess they just really believed it.
But like I said, apparently the cops believed it too, because they all got their ass locked up for it too. So something must click. Like if the regular people believed it, more than likely the cops were probably like, yeah, fuck, I believe this shit's legit too, and they all ended up in fucking jail for that shit. As nearly all the convictions, but since then though, all 26 people that got locked up, says nearly all the convictions have since been overturned. This is including of a local carpenter named John Stahl. He spent 20 years of his life in his 40-year sentence in jail. I guess he wound up getting released maybe like on good behavior or something. Or at least he went for an appeal, I think, because he was having like a 40-year sentence. Probably won his appeal to like 20. Like he has to get halfway through his sentence before he could go up for an appeal. So one dude did 20 years in jail for that shit, and he was like, "Look, I had nothing to do with it. I'm just a carpenter. Like, what I got to do with fucking what's going on in the daycare? Just maybe he knew somebody who was in this shit. I don't know, but
wrong place, wrong town.
Maybe he was chilling with one of them, and he just fucking got locked up too with them." It says
avoid all daycares.
And it says like Scott and Brendan Kifflin. Okay, so these are like parents of like parents Scott and Brendan Kifflin. I guess they might have been parents of some of the kids that supposedly got were raped there or whatever. Or it was taken advantage of in the satanic cult. It says they got like 200 fucking. They got 240 years in jail after their sons were coached. So basically, they like told their sons to lie about these demon cults and shit like that. And they like after they found out like they basically coached their kids in the line, they gave them like 240 years for that shit. It's like what the
like together?
Like I guess like I think it might be each or maybe together. I'm not sure.
Damn.
But it's because like you got 26 people sent to jail over some bullshit y'all started, and then you gonna serve every fucking year that they got. That's what it sounds like. 240 years in jail after the sons were coached and through cohesive investigation techniques and it says overeager therapist. So basically, it's like they basically manipulated like because whether it was true or not, there was some show proof that these kids were being manipulated by some adults. Cause I can see like even if the situation was real, like I'm like this in a world where people always try to take advantage of shit in like crisis or whatever, like. So even like during the pandemic, I'm pretty sure there's people out there that's like, hey, I got like the real cure other than that fucking vaccine. You know, I could give you some real shit. Like people's always trying to make $1 or something during like the most fucked up times when people need to be coming together and working together. So
don't
whether
let a good crisis go to waste.
Yeah. So whether this shit is legit
That's what
or
Hillary said.
Oh. So whether this shit is like legit or not, right? It just shows that like people like these parents who are like trying to take advantage of when people want to do it for fame, money, maybe sell some books or whatever. But they fucked up a lot of people's lives doing this shit too on a situation that whether it's real or not, I'm not sure. But let's say if it was real, they took something that derailed a real situation and made it into about themselves, and some people suffer for that. So that was one of them. That was like one of the big. That's like one of the big cases too. That's when the panic started happening in these suburban areas and people were getting scared. Don't want your kids listening to like heavy metal and shit.
This was almost like the same time where they had the guy in Atlanta that was killing all these black kids.
Atlanta Monster, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the 80s?
It might have been like
I think it might have been the 80s.
Early 90s maybe.
I think it might have been 80s.
Yeah. And they're saying that black dude with the afro was the one that was killing all these black kids.
Yeah, it wasn't Wayne something. I can't remember his name right now.
Wayne something. He's still locked up to this day.
Yeah, he's still locked up.
They did the interview on him on a podcast.
Yeah, maybe tell me about that. You put me on. I just put a friend on it to it last week, the Atlanta Monster.
It's interesting.
Yeah, you put me on that. I was like, damn, this shit's good. They changed the name of the podcast though. They just call it Monster because they talk about other
serial killers. They do
now.
like series, and then they'll just pick up another series.
Yeah, I think the last one they did. Oh, somebody just told me they got a new one out. I haven't heard it yet. The DC Sniper. That's the new one they got now.
Damn.
I know they had Zodiac Killer. That was the last one I listened to. Then, but yeah, that's just good, man. But yeah, it's around the same time while that kids are going missing and shit. So
that shit was trending. It's like a challenge, like a trending challenge.
What was it, Atlanta Monster?
No, like
kids going missing and shit.
Kids like kidnapping kids and doing
wild shit, man.
Nasty shit to them. That was like a thing back then.
Like, why you gotta go for the kids, man? Jesus, leave them alone.
It's not trending right now, but the people are getting caught now.
Yeah, shit. It was getting wild back then, man. Because I do believe there's some because just the track how at least the 80s was going and how serial killers are popping up. Also, too, you want to find out too, like I probably want to do this like somewhere in the future, but I do want to do like a episode where we talk about like Heaven's Gate, which is like another like wild ass cult, like the ones who thought the aliens were coming down, so they was like wearing all white and shit, and they like drunk poison, and there's one like some clean ass white kicks in bed.
I remember that
when the mothership comes, we clocking out. But it seemed like a lot of cults were really picking up at some point, like after the serial killer movement. Then like 80s was like there was a rise in cults. I do believe that is legit though.
It's like because like Aleister Crowley, his book wasn't even like really recognized until like the 90s. That's when people started picking up on it. They're like, holy shit, this guy's onto something real. And then this is when all this crazy shit happened.
Yeah, because it seems like maybe it seems like musicians got in on it and then spread the word out to the normal people like us. And that's what's like, oh shit, like they who's this Crowley fella?
Yeah, because that information, it wasn't like widely available like back then, like in the 30s or 40s and shit. It was only available to like the few, like people that like leaders and shit were reading that shit.
Yeah.
Even like the Kabbalion, with the Hermetic philosophy and shit, the Hermetic principles.
Yeah.
I actually got that book, and I don't think I should read it anymore.
Why?
Because it's like I got like towards the middle, I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to be reading this shit, because some of the stuff in there, they're saying the stuff in that book is not meant for like normal people. It's meant for like people like trying to take over the world type shit. It's not meant for like the regular citizen. Like,
So if you're trying to run a cult,
like
basically,
yeah, it's like you can. It's like yeah, it's like a guidebook to like making a cult type shit. But that book, it has like principles on there where like back then it would be labeled as like sacred information, like sacred knowledge, to where the normal human is not supposed to be able to get this knowledge, because that book was written. Like, it wasn't really written by like one person. It was like a whole bunch of people that used to be like in a group, and they all got pieces of information, and they all put it like within this one book, and they called it the Hermetic principles and shit.
damn.
And then I read it halfway. I was like, stop.
It's a bit much. It's a bit much.
I don't think this is meant for me to look at it right now. You know,
Like, this ain't for my eyes.
might start a real revolution. I finished the book. I'm like, hey, quit my job.
Okay, so there's another incident. This is probably like one of the most notorious ones, where people were getting accused of satanic shit again, as it's called like the West Memphis 3. This shit is wild as fuck.
West Memphis 3, what was that, like a Louisiana biker gang?
It's about these 3 kids who got like who caught like these accusations of murdering 3 other kids, and
Like, how old though?
I think they had to be like within their teenage years, like maybe mid-teens, early teens. But like the kids that got killed were like kids, like
5,
like 6, 7, 8 years old, something like that, like young kids. It says but it says like it's the most notorious one, because like these kids, like all 3 of these boys were like into like rock and shit like that, with dark clothes, all that stuff.
They shot the Gadzooks.
Oh shit!
Was that before? What's that other one?
Hot Topic.
Hot Topic? Was it
I
before
think
Hot
that
Topic?
was, I think that was before. Yeah, Spencer's.
Spencer's. Yeah.
With the
they were wearing the emo clothes, and then
with the jeans, it was like so baggy at the bottom, and like you could tell when it's rain outside because you see like it's all wet at the bottom. It's always wet at the bottom.
And the platform is like fucking 4 inches.
Dude,
I was like, God, you're gonna break your ankle, dude.
Like, do not trip. It is game over.
And then like the next year, like the dude that was like super emo, like he went straight edge. He cleaned up. I'm like, dude, what happened?
Got your shit together.
No more like eyeliner and shit.
I was going through a phase. Okay, so in 1993, 3 teenagers in West Memphis, Arkansas, were accused and later convicted of horrific sexual assault and murders of 3 young boys.
Wait, murder and sexual assault?
Yeah, because like when they found these kids, they were like fucking wrecked. I'm talking about like genitals cut off and shit type shit. Like somebody went to work on them. There's always been theories of who really did it. I honestly, I think it was one of the boys. Out of those 3 boys, I think it was one. In my opinion, I think it was one of the, because 3 boys were all friends, but they weren't like siblings or anything like that. They were just friends. One of the boys, I think it was his father that did it, because they were finding bite marks on the kids' bodies after they discovered the bodies.
It was like adult chompers?
It was like adult chompers. And the father of one of the kids had just recently after that, was like removing his fucking teeth out of his head.
Jeez.
How you gonna find out if he did it if he ain't got no teeth? It's not gonna match the bite. How you have bite marks when you got no teeth? But I don't think he was ever convicted, because as far as I know, this case is still like a mystery. Like they've never found out who did this shit. But the town is also going through this whole satanic panic phase too. And the first thing they want to point the finger at were the 3 boys who were into like heavy metal shit, dark clothes, eyeliner, all that. The whole shit bang.
They matched the profile.
Walking around wearing Metallica shirts and shit. Like it was like they was like that back then. It says amid an intense police investigation, the teens were accused based on extremely weak evidence, including a lack of any physical evidence linking them to the crime, and hearsay due to their goth lifestyles and unfounded accusations that they worship Satan. It says the most famous member of the 3, Damien Eccles, he rapidly gained so this dude named Damien Eccles, right? He was one of the 3 boys there, and he wound up getting like a lot of popularity through like on the outside, this case became so big that celebrities jumped in on it. Like Johnny Depp jumped in on it, and all these fucking like Hollywood fucking people jumped in on it. It was like, yo, these kids are innocent. Like, you guys literally just threw them in jail because they were different. It had nothing to do. Y'all ain't got no DNA evidence. Y'all ain't got nothing to prove that these kids was even there at the time. But just because they were different and didn't fit into what you could conform as society, or what would you like see as society, they didn't conform to your ways, then you kind of just threw them under the bus. And so Damon Echols, the guy, he was in prison, and his shit was rough because he spent like a decade in solitary confinement.
Damn.
And he was like talking about times. He's like within the first year that he was in jail. Like, actually, he didn't even hit a year yet when he was in prison. But within his first year of being in prison, he saw somebody get stabbed and killed, and like fucked him up in the head. He was like a teenager at the time. He was like, I just watched somebody just get stabbed to death, and why is my life going in this direction? And it's a rough. And they all wound up getting released from prison eventually, but it's like 20-something years later after the fact. 18 years, I think they did in prison.
Are they doing like driving Ubers?
This is like one dude, Damon Echols, is actually he's into magic and shit, and he's coming out with a book next.
Is it Magic with a K?
I think so, maybe. I know he's coming out with a book. I think he either came out last year. I think it might have been last year. He came out with a book because he's like magic and shit like that. I'm like, okay, so he's still trying to hold on to the dark arts and shit, I guess. I don't know, but that don't make you a bad person. I don't think, in my opinion. I mean, there's people that don't do dark. There's people out there who are a hell of a lot worse and don't do dark arts and shit. It is fucking horrible people.
They're like performing magic like on the news.
But so I think he was like one of the things where he was into like Aleister Crowley as well too, which I found out today that he was like a fan of Aleister Crowley as well. And while he was going through prison, he actually wound up going through he knew that he was starting to lose his mind, so he had to teach himself like meditation and stuff like that in order for him to just like to make it through it. Because like when you're in solitary confinement, you spend 23 hours a day by yourself, and you're out for an hour to like maybe go get something. They take you away for like an hour for some shit, and then after that, you back in solitary confinement again. And he was starting to lose his mind, just chilling in there a lot. And
I don't know how he survived for 10 years though. In that,
he's in solitary confinement, dude. He started having I guess
there's
he was
no way he could survive that.
That's why like a lot of people bring up now was like they might need to get rid of fucking solitary confinement, because it is like, okay, so you don't know, okay, it's, even with the court of law, he was proven to be guilty because when he got sentenced to death, because he got the death penalty out of the 3 boys, I think all of them, like 2 boys got life, he got the death penalty, and so the state was gonna fucking kill his ass. When he was like a teenager at the time and he showed him in the courtroom, his face, like I guess the mainstream media was like, look, he doesn't even fucking care. Like, he's not crying or nothing. But he wants to tell him, like, the reason why I was looking like this, because I was in shock because I could see people's mouths moving and I'm not hearing anything because I just got told that the state was going to kill me for something I didn't do. And he was like a kid at the time. So I was like, that's why he's like you can see in his face, he's kind of like just out of it. But the newscasts try to spin it like, look at this evil fucking kid. Like, just.
So maybe the news was trying to like protect somebody.
Maybe they just try to use them as like scapegoats or some shit. I don't know.
So maybe the cops did it.
Shit.
I don't know. That's wild.
And so he winds up telling the story about how he survived in prison. He wound up using like meditation and all that. And then he actually wound up saying like he wound up learning stuff from like Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu, which he had a really dope ass quote. And I was like, oh shit, I might have to get this one day, this book. But he talks about like he wound up learning just from Lao Tzu, this philosophy that he always carried with him. He said like living in the past leads to depression. Living in the future leads to anxiety. You know, and he had to teach himself to like kind of live in the moment. Don't be thinking about the past because you're gonna get depressed. Because you think about like, fuck, I'm here. Don't be thinking about the future like I'm gonna die because the state's gonna kill me. Just live in this moment. Don't think about any of that. And that's all he had to make it through it day by day, man. And when he got released, man, they was like grown ass men now. They're all like in their late 30s by then.
I think his mind is fucking fried. Like you can't even live in normal society.
And then he said he did have problems like trying to like he wouldn't like. He would go out around people and he wouldn't want to be around anybody because he's so used to being by himself because he did 10 years by himself. He doesn't want to be around people. So he was having some issues after he got out, and I can't blame him. Like, solitary confinement is pretty fucking inhumane, man, because I mean, like me, I don't like mind being a person that can be by myself as well. But for 23 hours a day, I mean, that shit would even drive me nuts after a while. And consistently for 10 years, that would bug the hell out of me. But yeah, that was another like crazy ass situation where, yo, when you pointing the fingers at everybody, you know, somebody.
Yeah, that's why you should never just make shit up about anybody.
No, you better have some real evidence, man. Because like I said, like a lot of these stories I was coming across, there was no real substantial evidence, but they were throwing a lot of people under the bus out of sheer fear. I'm like, y'all should just like stop and take a deep breath, collect your thoughts, and then just kind of like, I don't know. If there's really some shit going on, then, you know, think with a clear head. Don't be going after somebody because they may act or different from what everybody else does. Because, man, it's like a lot of these stories I was coming across today, it was motherfuckers just doing just mad time in jail over evidence that they never found. California seemed like it was a damn hotspot though, because there was another story I came across too. What were you about to say? Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say that's why you should never like be a Karen and just snitch on people for no reason.
For real, that shit could be life or death.
Yeah, that could be like that lady snitching on that black dude at the park, and that dude could have got fucked up because she was making up some shit about him attacking her or whatever, some bullshit.
Damn, that's real shit, man. That's
like stop doing that.
The cautionary tale of that is like Emmett Till. That white lady, she's like 90 something now, but she lied back then about like how he like whistled and winked at her. And that's all. And kind of find out she admitted just like last year, the year before. I think it was like the year before, maybe 2 years ago now. But she wound up admitting to like, I don't know, some fucking like some media shit or whatever. She was like, "Y'all, he never did that to me. I lied about it." I'm like, when she finally admitted it after all these years, I was like, "Yo, so we like throw her in jail?" I know she's like 98,
for real, lock her up.
I'm like, you got that fucking kid killed over a lie.
I don't know.
But you gotta be careful with like you these accusations, because every time you hear stories about these Karens like accusing people of shit, at least within the black community is like, we know how this shit can end up for us if you lie. That shit is not cool. Just you can get somebody killed over that shit. So, and that goes with anything, man. Not even with Karens, man. Just like, fuck. I don't know, man. I get it, man. You trying to like, I don't know, man. Don't make it about you. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, don't make that shit about you when you making accusations. Like, have some real substantial evidence or something, man. Don't be doing it because you're afraid or something like that or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, try to be logical with that shit.
Well, I mean, that generation is about to head out the door anyway, so
yeah.
There's no like, we can't really teach them anything else because their brain is locked on that type of thing.
I don't know, man. I still think it's still. I think it's still hanging on to this day, man. I would say like with shit like
yeah, it is. That's why
it's like the fucking Pizzagate and shit like that. Like, you know, this is just.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I'm just talking about like when people believe like in sex cults and all this other stuff, and it's still like.
Oh, I was talking about like people snitching.
Oh, I was thinking about too, just like with people snitching and just like people going after like half cocked on like lack of information. Like I said, I think a lot of shit is legit. It's just that, you know, you aim at the wrong target. Sometimes you just gotta take it slow. Stack up some evidence and then go for the juggler if you want to really catch this shit. Because it's real kids getting snatched up and getting tossed in like these sex trafficking crazy ass worlds, and it's like,
I wonder why nobody kidnapped me. Was I wasn't a cute kid or something? Why nobody want to kidnap me?
I don't know. You got mad siblings though, man. He's like, yo, he's always around them. Like, is that his bodyguards?
I remember the one time I think I almost got kidnapped. I was in elementary, and then I was leaning on like a fence and shit, you know, waiting for my dad to pick me up. And then I felt somebody like caressing my arm. I'm like, who the fuck is touching me so softly?
You told me this.
And then I looked back, it was like a Mexican dude, and then he smiled at me. I was like, oh shit, I'm about to get fucking kidnapped.
And you just holding onto the fence.
I took off. I was like, nope. I know that's the bad thing.
Stranger danger.
That shit was crazy. The dude was like rubbing my arm.
Whoa.
I was like, whoa.
Well, he reached he was on the other side of the fence, or
he was on the other side of the fence. Thank God.
And he reached through.
Like my arm was like this on the fence, and he could touch me through the fence. You know how you touch puppies like in a cage?
Yeah.
I was like the puppy, and he did. I don't know. But then my dad came later. I was like, oh, thank God.
You tell your dad?
No, I didn't tell him because he wouldn't understand. It's like, hey, yo, dad, some dude tried to touch me.
Some dude touched me.
Like, all right, let's go home.
Yeah, you'll live. Let's go. But yeah, it is like, so California had another issue where they had a lot of accusations going around, and one was like within the Manhattan Beach, California. I did not know there's a Manhattan in
New York Beach. What?
Manhattan Beach, California. So it was like all right. So this happened in 1983 when One parent accused one of the staff members at McMartin Preschool in Manhattan Beach, California, of abuse. During the police investigation into the abuse claims, a child service nonprofit group known as the Children's Institute conducted examinations of 400 children who attended the daycare.
They all got raped.
That's basically what it is. I think it's like, if I remember the story correctly when I read it earlier, it says like out of like the 400 kids, like 359 of them was used in satanic cults. So it's like, because like altogether it's like 400 kids. So that's like way more than fucking half of the kids.
Man,
that's a lot of kids, man.
Kids got magic blood, man.
Apparently these damn fucking people trying to kick them off. Like they
got that magic blood that these adults or these people doing these rituals, they fiend for that shit. So I'm thinking it has something to do with them, like getting some type of like power or whatever. Because I heard like some guys, right, they would get adrenochrome and they would inject it in their vein, and they said the way it feels is like. It's like sparks going through your body.
That rush.
Yeah, it's like it feels like your body's like sparks going through it.
You're like, man, I got the energy of an 8-year-old. It's like, I'm fucking 40.
Yep, it's wild.
Yeah, so they wound up doing like So yeah, pretty much what happened is like what kind of derailed the whole situation too is like there was a lady who was doing interviews to these kids, and she said she was like a psychotherapist. Oh, she said she was an unlicensed psychotherapist. The thing is, though, her name was Key McFarlane, who's an unlicensed psychotherapist. McFarlane had no psychological or medical training to even like have these conversations with these kids because it's all a traumatic situation. Like, what the fuck? You have no training or school to deal with this. Why are you even here? Which they even asked me. I even had a question about like, why the fuck's the cops even let her in these rooms to talk to these kids who went through these traumatic situations? It was all kind of funky. They said like I said, like she had no psychological medical training, but then she was like she had a certificate for welding. Like that's all she had for like that's like the highest thing she had for credentials was welding.
And they let her in and do all that?
What are you talking to these kids for? And it completely derailed everything. So whether like I said, it's one of these situations where
they sent her in to sabotage it.
And that's what I was thinking too. It's like either like it's one thing. It's like even if these situations are true, why are these people ending up in these situations? Like, why are people fucking it up by, either with coercing these kids or making these kids lie or whatever the case may be, or trying to take advantage of the situation? Or you got her who was like, clearly she must have been lying and she was a psychiatrist, but y'all didn't ask for no credentials and shit like that. Cops, fucking Johnny Law, y'all didn't seem to check her because the only thing she had is like her highest academic credential was a fucking welding certificate, which I ain't dissing that. That's actually pretty dope. But that shit, what are you gonna do? Fucking weld the kids together and shit? Well, they ain't got nothing to do with nothing here, They ain't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China. So, and she had 2 other unqualified assistants. So she was even by herself. It says, allowed to conduct investigations, famously using basically using an anatomically correct doll, which is like saying like, hey, show me on a doll where you got touched at.
In the ass.
Right here, right in the butt.
In the ass, doctor.
And so, yeah, that's what she was like using the dolls and all that. So it's like
in the mouth too.
The mouth, like right here.
Like, God damn. These adults are fucking ruthless.
Says out of 400 children, the interviews determined that 359 of them had been abused.
Man, I wasn't abused when I was a child. No, I was abused by my parents.
Like ass whoopings?
Yeah, but that's normal.
That's normal, yeah. I mean, you probably go to jail for that shit now. I mean, the world don't. That's kind of.
Yeah, I remember I did want to call the cops on them because they were like getting too violent. I was like, "Hey, that hurt. I'm gonna call the cops now."
I shouldn't be bleeding from my nose. I'm calling the cops.
But I know the minute I say that, they would light my ass.
Yeah. I'm calling CPS. Oh,
you're gonna need CPR.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, they don't play, man. Asian folks. They do not play. They see through every little loophole, little game you play. I was like, damn, I can't get away with nothing. I'm always getting caught.
It's like that in my household. Like you think you're smarter than everybody else. No, we'll learn real quick.
Your parents actually know everything.
It's like we've been here before.
Yeah, they watch you grow up since a kid. They know like the shady shit you do. They know everything about you. But they don't say it. But they know because they fucking made you. Kids think they can get away with shit, but little do they know that the parents really do know everything about them. Like, oh yeah, he just got done masturbating. I know what the fuck he was doing.
But I'm not gonna bring it up to him.
They just act. They just play dumb.
Thanks, guys.
And then the kid's like, yeah, I got away with that.
But you didn't. They just
didn't want to fucking deal with it.
Not every fight needs to be fought, you know.
Yeah, they're like, whatever.
Since like the accusations collected by the Children's Institute resulted in a staggering 321 counts of fucking child abuse and all this other wild shit, and they even wound up consulting Pazder, who was the guy who actually wrote the book.
Pazder? What kind of name is that?
He's the guy who did Michelle's Remember book, the guy who hypnotized his wife.
Oh, yeah.
Lawrence Pazder. He wound up being brought into the situation too, but from my understanding correctly, it's like this situation kind of got really even more fucked up because then they started finding out stories where, hey man, that book you wrote back then, that shit might not have been true what you wrote about you hypnotizing your wife, and they kind of just,
well, he made it up.
That's what it's like coming out to be like. Oh,
but how did they know that?
What?
How did they know he made it up?
His stories weren't matching up with what, like they were asking questions and their shit wasn't matching up to what the fuck he had said in the past before when he was asking like, hey, your wife got hypnotized and she's going through a past and da-da-da. His story kept changing too much and it wasn't very consistent. So it's kind of like, all right, my man, you kind of looking kind of funky now. And it got to a point where he just stopped talking about it. Like, I don't want to talk about it. So it's like, all right, you getting pressed.
Yeah, because they're saying so much shit anyway. Like, any words he say, they're not even going to believe him.
It could be. I mean,
it's just like nowadays.
But yeah, so they just want to becoming this ongoing thing. And I still feel like even now in 2021, we still live in an area where, I don't know, just look at the history of how America is. America does have this weird fucking thing when it comes to fear. Like, it's always afraid of something around the corner all the time. And no matter what. Even it was like, I'll say like when slaves were released and America thought slaves were going to get revenge and kill every fucking white person. Didn't happen. Japanese internment camps. Like, as soon as World War II kicked off, boom. People that was even just, not even, Asian people who weren't even Japanese was getting tossed in these camps just out of fear. So it's just like this country just has a real bad history of like fucking there's a boogeyman around every corner. And I feel like when you live a life where you fear that much, it's only a matter of time before you start turning it on yourself or the people that you would consider to be your circle. That's why I feel like this satanic shit was kind of like now you're throwing kids within your community to the wolves out of fear now. Like it's no longer just like minorities and shit you're afraid of now. It's not like now you're afraid of what's going on within there. And it's kind of like, when is that fear going to stop, man?
So is everything okay now?
I think it's still going on. I think it's not as fucking crazy anymore. You got shit like the internet and stuff. You got cell phones. It's kind of these people you can check this shit now. People are just not as wild back then. Pre internet days, it was like your word against theirs, and it's hard as fuck. But y'all be safe out there, though. Don't.
Be safe. Don't have kids.
Don't have kids. Dad, do that. Just be single forever.
If I ever have a kid, I'll have him like on another planet like Mars.
I think he's gonna get him chipped. I remember you told me a long time ago you would get him chipped.
Yeah, if he lives out here.
Oh, on this planet, on Mars, no chip.
I'm a chip. I put like 10 chips in him. It's like, he pulled out another one. He don't know about that other chip.
Got 9 more to go.
I mean, that's for his own protection, and then it's for me because I'm lazy. I don't want to like look for a kid for 24 hours when I could just get a chip. Get a GPS. Oh, his actually just down the street.
I guess it's you know what?
Let me just get my bike. I'll go ride the bike and go catch that kid.
I find that more respectable than putting a leash in your child. I'll say that. I hate when I see kids on a leash. I'm like, God damn, like
that's the cheap route.
Just put the chip in his brain, keep him moving. They do it to fucking cats and dogs.
Yeah, then the kid can get the chip removed when he's 18. Like no big deal. I just want to keep him like, where I know where he's at or whatever. Like what the kid, he got to do. What he got to go to the mall or something? The kid, he doesn't need freedom like that. Like I'm watching him.
The library.
So like the chip thing for me is not a big deal. It's just like a chip in your dog. Okay, if your dog don't have the chip, your dog disappear. Oh, you're gonna be crying because you can't find your dog.
That's true.
And you wish you had a chip. Let's say you're a kid, 7 years old, fucking run around, got missing. You can't find him. But if you had a chip, hey, there he is.
Man. Especially out here, man. And it's probably like this in every state because Georgia ain't nothing special, really. It's like, I follow like 11 Alive news on social media. I shit you not, every week is like, I'm hearing like 3 kids going missing. Some get found, some ain't never found. I'm like, fuck, like, maybe if you had that chip, you would at least know something. Even if because I think when your kid goes missing, the one thing like is worse than finding out that they're probably, deceased or whatever. I think worse than that would be like you don't know what happened.
Yeah, that's worse.
That's fucking way worse. Like that is so much more worse. Like you don't know.
I want like the really advanced chip where it shows like the health.
Oh my god!
Like the health bar, like the heart. Like
so it's going down.
Oh, he's at 60%. We
gotta hurry.
We gotta pick this up, guys.
Gotta hurry.
Oxygen levels low. Where is he? What is he in a box?
It shows the stats of like his breathing and shit. Like, oh damn, he's having trouble breathing.
Oh god.
Gotta hurry.
Deet. Oh, his heartbeat.
Oh god.
His heartbeat is going down. It's beating so slowly.
Damn. This boy's so crazy, man. I'm scared to have a kid.
I'll have a robot kid for you.
A robot kid?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get too attached, man.
Tom Fox says there's an episode of Black Mirror like that where the parents can see through the kid's eyes. I remember that episode.
This one, where was that? Was that two seasons?
Episode where they put whatever device in the kid, and the parents can actually see through the eyeballs of the children. And then like there's like shit like parents don't want the kids to see. Like, you know, that's why you watch TV. You see like shit that's censored.
Yeah.
So they would automatically censor like something that's violent. Like let's say somebody getting shot. If the kid look at it, he'll see like something that's blurry automatically.
In real life? Like somebody
in
getting
real
shot?
life.
Shit.
So the kid wouldn't see like nothing like that. Or if there's like porn or whatever, or somebody having sex on the street, it'll just be all blurred out.
Oh.
Yeah, Black Mirror's crazy.
Damn, I missed that episode. What the fuck?
It's pretty cool. After I saw that, I was like, dang.
Was that second season? That sounds like a good episode. Chip blurs out scary stuff. I'm gonna have to find that one. It might be the episode I fell asleep on. I know there's a couple out there.
The way they explained it and how they did it in the episode, it did look scary.
About controlling what you can censor and not censor.
Especially like seeing through their fucking eyes. Imagine that. Seeing your kid get raped, dude.
What if you see a kid jerking off? You don't want to see that.
Exactly.
Like, wait.
I say take the vision out and just have the regular chip with the GPS.
What if you have like the kid? Like, what if you're the kid who has this chip in your brain and you want to masturbate, but your dick is pixelated out? Like, okay, does it pixelate out your own shit or just everybody's?
I mean, why is that kid masturbating in the first place? If he doesn't
stress,
if he doesn't get like information of none of that, he wouldn't even know that.
Stress of like being a, I don't know, 14-year-old. I don't know.
I think if you don't know about it, you won't do it. That's how the brain is. Unless you're Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, there you go.
Doing new shit every year.
That man is another. They didn't make a movie of that dude, like, or something. They need a.
They have a lot of stuff on him. That guy is like a legend. Tom Fox says when the kids get older, they turn the tablet off. Yeah, it's like the same. Like what I was saying, when they turn 18, pop the chip out. This thing in the Black Mirror, when they turn 18, they turn the feed off, so the parents can't see what the hell their daughter is doing, or their son doing jackass videos.
Hey,
are we good on this? We actually did really good. 2 hours and just 2 topics.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Not bad.
Did you want to get into like little topics, or you just want to? You're all out of breath.
It's up to you. I can do like a couple small topics, and I'll probably save the rest for next week.
Yeah, you could run one.
Okay.
Then I gotta take a leak and wrap this up.
All right. I did come across a story today. Where the fuck it's at? Give me a second.
Please let it not be a Donald Trump news.
No, God, no. I'm not talking about his ass.
Thank God.
I mean, if you want to know about Donald Trump, watch the news. You can't miss it. All right. So this is a story I thought about you when I saw this shit. It says, man injects.
That's not gay at all. But go ahead.
Man injects magic mushroom tea into his fucking veins.
Damn.
Survives near-death experience. The shit was, I saw it today. I was like, what the fuck?
Is he a white guy? They experiment.
Since this happens in New Delhi, and I think New Delhi's in India, so
India be doing weird shit too.
Hey man, somebody's got to try it out. Somebody's got to test it.
So he took like a tea extract with mushrooms.
Yeah, so like he's like basically like the man boiled the mushrooms in water, filtered the liquid through a cotton swab, and then he injected it with a syringe, like hypodermic needle, and inject that shit into his fucking bloodstream.
Why? What is he trying to get the hit faster?
That's what I'm thinking.
So stupid.
So this happened in New Delhi. So a 30-year-old man he's from the United States. Okay, so
Florida.
He lives in New Delhi, I guess. Yeah, that sounds like some Florida man shit for real. So this 30-year-old man from the United States with bipolar disorder survived a near-death experience after injecting himself with self-made magic mushroom tea, which contain psychedelic drug psilocybin.
See, I hate seeing like news shit like that.
Fucks it up, man.
They're fucking up the movement now.
But I don't think this is gonna fuck up the movement. This is like some extreme shit. That's like, he could have did that shit with weed. He would have fucking almost died like that.
Yeah.
You don't do that shit, man.
I just don't like it when they mess with mushrooms like that.
As per reports, the man injected himself with tea and hoping he would cure his bipolar disorder. However,
all you gotta do is fucking eat that shit normal.
And that's what's like, yo, you want to get a hit? Just do it the regular way, man. But
you probably got to do like DMT for that bipolar shit. Because the DMT, like, if you
gotta break that shit down, man.
You can have like little scientists trying to fix your brain, like trying to weld shit back together, put the neurons back, and like, he cured his bipolar disorder and shit.
And it says
those type of drugs are.
Hey.
It's still so new. We're just babies.
Says, however, it turned out to be a failed attempt. No shit. As psychedelic mushrooms are not meant to be injected. So, this is the crazy part. Since shrooms and mushrooms grow in the dark, right? And I never fucking crossed my mind.
Not really.
When,
not all of them.
And for him, it's fucking... What happened was like, as a result, because he injected shrooms inside of he put the shrooms inside of his bloodstream, right? And caused his body to go into organ failure. What had happened was the mushroom started growing inside of his bloodstream.
Whoa.
And some wild ass shit. It says,
Did it get caught like in his bloodline?
And that's when we started like having like organ failure, like with his heart and shit. Like, cause now your bloodstream's getting blocked the fuck out from, cause it says,
so the mycelium probably like got a hold of his organs and then started growing on
something.
Damn, that's so cool, man.
I was like, holy shit, this. I don't know. You would not think that it would be able to survive in that type of environment. Since like fungi is kind of like, it's difficult to grow anyways. It has to be like that
super
perfect
sterile.
Yeah.
Sterile. What did I say? Sterile.
It says as a result, the mushrooms grew in a man's bloodstream and caused his body to go to organ failure.
Is he alive or did he die? You say?
I see why I'm surviving though. It says at present he's being treated with long-term use of antifungals and antibiotics to get rid of that fungus.
I say throw that whole human away.
Okay, the more I'm looking at this now, he did have bipolar disorder, so that's fuck. He might have some other shit too.
You just don't know.
It says so okay, the more I keep looking at this, I think he might be white too. It says the man's family brought him to the Nebraska emergency room, so he's from Nebraska. The man was suffering from bipolar disorder, but yeah, that was a story I saw earlier. I was like, definitely small news. This is definitely small news material, dude. He went in. And I did have one other small news story, which I came across. This is another small news story. Unless you have one, or
I don't have none.
Okay. It says a woman terrified after finding 1F written in snow outside of a house. All right.
1F?
Yeah, the number 1 and an F, right? Now,
like the apartment building?
It's no.
Catch me at 1F.
No, it's like I kind of figured what this was as soon as I heard the story. And I watched her TikTok video. So it was like this chick who lives in this house, and she wound up getting on TikTok. She goes, "Hey guys, like I just found this on top of my trash can, written in snow because there's snow all over the place. She's like written in snow on top of my trash can. Somebody wrote 1F on it, and I guess like the chat within like TikTok was like, oh shit, you need to get the fuck out of there. That means one female. All right, so a lot of people trying to figure out like some people saying it's like." Okay, it's a sign that people are scoping out your house. They plan to try and break in it. She lived by herself. Nobody else lived in the house. So somebody was clearly watching her in the house and put a sign saying like one female in this house.
So was somebody watching her?
They still don't know. The cops didn't do shit. She tried to call the cops. The cops
I don't trust chat.
No, actually, all right. So this is something that I learned years ago when I used to work at
like codes where people was getting fucked up.
Yeah, they were not like in the military. It was like I was back in Atlanta, and I used to deal with like a lot of homeless people. If you go down to any like inner city downtown area, if you look hard enough, you will see like symbols and signs that homeless people leave.
Remember that shit I showed you? It was in Atlanta. It had somebody spray painted like a fucking equation that looks super complicated.
Yeah. Some homeless shit. For real, because if you look closely enough, and I want learning this through like other homeless people I want to befriending and shit down working in downtown Atlanta, they'll leave markings around certain areas to let you know like other homeless people know like, hey, there's even a chart on if you look it up on Google like homeless people's like signs or whatever, an entire list of like their subculture world of how they create like their own like secret language and how they communicate with each other. And so maybe some homeless dude was going past the house one night. Because sometimes they try to find like homes, especially during like the wintertime. It's like, is it empty? I'm going to break in. Okay, shit, she's living by herself. one female probably lives here. I'm letting everybody else know don't break in this house because somebody does live in here because I thought it was empty. So that's probably what the case was because you'll see like 1M, one male. It'd be like one male, 1D, one dog. A guy and a dog live in this house. They got signs for like one male, one female, owns gun. If you get like
a picture of a gun.
Yeah, like your pew pew. Like they be scoping out joints like that. And so a lot of people that was like on the TikTok was saying like, because somebody's gonna fucking kill you, which may not be the case. Because if somebody's gonna kill you, they're not gonna put like fucking right in snow. Like
they just kick the door down.
They're gonna kick your shit in and they're gonna fuck you up. This is more like a warning to other homeless people. Like, hey, Joe,
I'm gonna start leaving little symbols around Atlanta now.
Fuck him up.
Draw a little owl with like
a yeah. They like it's crazy. Like if you guys if you really like do like look up the subculture of homeless people. Dude, it's like, yo, why is nobody doing a movie about this shit? Just like, it's crazy. Their lifestyle is like...
That would be a very interesting movie.
I would watch the fuck out of it. And it's like, they got their own subculture, languages. Sometimes they could be getting married to each other, be holding their own ceremonies, because they'll put up signs, too, in certain areas saying, like, hey, this is like a wedding area for homeless people. This is where you guys, like, their own area of, like, heavenly worship, I guess you want to say. But, just keep an eye out for that shit. Be careful, because sometimes they'll put signs up like, hey, guy owns gun here, do not go, or fucking, they got signs all over the city. You just gotta.
This dumpster is unlocked on Tuesdays only.
Like, P.S.
Food pickup at 12.
Food pickup. Yeah, so, but it was actually pretty good. I saw that, not good, but when I saw that on the news today, I was like, oh, like people really need to look up the homeless culture more, because they got that's very interesting, man. That world is like so different from ours, man. It's a secret society, damn near.
Pretty much. Underground society. They have their own little language.
Got sick of the living the grind. Because you meet some homeless people too. They're not homeless because their lives went to shit. They just don't want to be a part of the system. Like, I want to be free and live my life. Because I've met homeless people like that who just, they want to live this way. They like, wow, like, I was like, because some of them like have this whole thing of like, I truly believe, some of the ones I've talked to is like, I truly believe like, we weren't meant to be working like 9 to 10 all the time, paying taxes, doing this shit. Like, we're supposed to be living amongst ourselves as humans and
we got stuck in that
survive.
rat race.
Yeah, and it's like I got tired of that shit. Yeah, people had good paying jobs. I've met.
Man, I'm quitting tomorrow. Fuck this shit.
Thank
you, Chris.
Just walked away from it all, man. Because you got to think about too, like
lights go off next month.
Some of the ones I've met that was like over in like Ponce de Leon Library and all that, who got cool with. They just got sick of working that grind. It's like our life became so stressful, and I just walked away from that shit. And so,
I'm an idiot. The fucking mic was like backwards.
The whole time? Oh, that's why it was sounding kind of... okay, mystery solved. At the very end. At the very end.
Check.
Oh, my God.
It shouldn't be that bad because...
No. You came out good, though.
Yeah. Because I was like, what? It sounds like flat today.
Yeah, that's it for my small news. I'll save the rest for next week if you got time, though.
Okay, cool. Next week, you got any ideas for topics?
I'm sure I can find something.
For people in the chat, do you guys want anything for us to talk about next week?
Yes. Or if you got me on social media, I should start dropping my plug for social media and shit, I guess.
I have your plug on all our shows.
Like follow me. Oh, for real? Sweet. Yeah, I was like, follow me.
Yeah, don't you read the description? I got all your information.
I think I did like a long time ago.
I'm a good producer, man.
I love you, man. Thanks.
Tom Fox says, listen last week's audio over my car speaker. How was it? Because I know like last week I fucked up the audio and I didn't want to redo it. Oh yeah, he did sound tinny. Well, I did fuck something up to where we sound like we're like in a tin can. Because the podcast before that it had a different setting.
Oh, then you said something happened. Yeah.
And then the new one, the one last week, I was like, oh fuck, I did it wrong.
It's like just fucking, we'll just
and
jump
it sound like tinny. I was like, fuck. I don't think anyone's gonna complain about it. But then Tom Fox says it nearly killed him. My bad. I'll make sure this podcast doesn't sound like that. I'll double check and do a car speaker test.
Run it.
All right, guys. So that's it for this episode. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see everybody next week. Peace out. Adios.
Yeah, see you guys.